So it's very interesting to me because probably one of my favorite phones and favorite iPhones of all time is a device that I hear very few people talk about. Now, I think some people still own this iPhone for sure. It's still fairly popular, probably in the used market and everything. But whenever I see people recommending devices, even recommending iPhones, I hear very few people remembering or even talking about this specific device. And this phone is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Personally, I think this is probably one of the best iPhones Apple has ever made. The whole entire iPhone 11 lineup was beautiful, but what's very interesting about the 11 Pro Max, not only can you just go and buy this iPhone in the used market, but this is actually one of the few iPhones Apple is selling in the certified refurbished market. You can still buy this iPhone, I believe, at like Walmart and some other places, maybe even Best Buy as well, on some like prepaid carriers. So this iPhone is still very much available, which is very interesting. Now, what's very awesome is, and probably not the best deal ever, the iPhone 11 Pro Max, at least from Apple's website, they're still selling for about $729 for the 256GB variant. That is, in my opinion, probably not the best price to pay for that thing. I wouldn't say that's a ripoff, but I just don't think it's probably worth that money, to be honest. But with the iPhone 11 Pro Max, this was a device that sold fairly well. Like, it didn't sell the most amount of numbers, but it sold fairly well, I would imagine, for a Pro Max model. You were getting a beautiful, massive display on this thing. The build quality finally got a massive improvement as well, coming from the previous build quality that we had. We had, the standard glass back and maybe a dual camera setup. Now we had a frosted glass back, which is beautiful, with a triple camera setup. So those things in and of itself were awesome. So the fact that we had that type of capability in this specific situation was amazing. And personally, that's something that I look forward to with the next generation of devices, probably for the next few years. Now, we had the Lightning port, which came with all the other iPhones, and we had finally the frosted gold color too, which was a standard gold color. That was an awesome color that they chose as well. And the internals were massively changed. We got the biggest sized battery on any iPhone at that moment, which was amazing. We had really big changes in that standpoint as well. So I was really happy to see that. And it's funny because, like I mentioned, nowadays, there's not really too many changes or too many people who are bringing up this specific device. Considering the fact that it, I guess, got outshined a little bit by the 12 series and the 12 Pro Max, considering that device brought the flat sides and it brought improvements, and it probably, I think, did bring the 6GB of RAM as well. So I could see why some changes were kind of made there. It was bigger, better cameras. And then with the 13 series, that kind of blew all the iPhones out of the water as well. So I'd be very curious to see what's going to end up happening with this device in terms of when it's going to be unsupported with software. But honestly, if there was any iPhone that's currently still supported with software that a majority of people probably overlook, it might end up being the iPhone 11 Pro Max. I see this iPhone very, very rarely mentioned, and I do think it's probably one of the most impactful iPhones Apple's ever made. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.